noon, Edmonton Oilers game day. It's going to be a hell of a game as they take on their division rivals, the LA Kings. Game 2 of 4 between these two teams goes down at Rogers Place at 7:30. The Oil Stream pregame show gets going at 6:30. So you get a nice little half-hour break between Reed and the Oil Stream pregame show. Should be a good one. We're going to get to that. Their game on Saturday, that's on beat the Blackhawks 4-3. Some fans were still freaking out, Gager. So we'll get to all that. Coming up on the show, 1:20, Jordan Maksymic, the Elks offensive coordinator and assistant coach, will join us. And we'll have some fun there with Jordan. At 1:40, we're going to do our NFL Wildcard recap and just continue to talk some NHL, some CFL, some players moving around. And, of course, look forward to the game tonight between the Vikings and the Rams that will close out Wildcard weekend. A bit of a dud in terms of games outside one, but we'll get to all that. Like always, you can listen to us on the iHeart or the iHeart or the TuneIn radio apps. You can watch us on EST YouTube channel. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat or text us at the River Cree inbox. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Creek Resort and Casino, not Casort. Canadian musician Alan Doyle and comedian Ben Bank is coming to the River Cree in January. For details on tickets, visit www.rivercreeresort.com as we come to you live from the William Huff Studios here in the west side of the city. Gager, how was your weekend, man?
Truth?
Yeah.
Not great. Not great. But
okay. They can't all be good, right?
No. It's just... Yeah, it wasn't the best weekend, I don't think, but looking forward to a good week, right?
That's good.
Positive
Gager.
Positive Gager. Just we got a game tonight to watch, and I did enjoy some of the football. I know guys were saying a lot of the games were duds, but I mean, Bo Nix fires that dart right away, and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And the Chargers, I was like they're ahead, and they just couldn't put up any points, and Herbert was terrible.
4 picks.
It was the funny thing about this is my son's not a huge sports guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, not at all. And so he's moved out, right? But he sends me a picture, and he sent me a text. And I was doing something, so I didn't really see it. But there was a picture of Herbert on there, and I'm like, what? My son's watching the football game? And I didn't look at it, but then I looked at it later.
Yeah.
And because I texted back without really looking, it goes, that bum threw for 4 picks. Not that he would understand what I was like. I was like, what are you talking about, Dad? But he had bought himself a TV.
Oh, okay.
And on the front of it was Herbert throwing a pass. So I thought he was all in on Wildcard Saturday or whatever. But no, it was pretty funny. But TV looks great.
That's good. What size?
50-inch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good for him.
Yeah. See, he's still it's amazing how fast, because I'm okay with that technical stuff, but it's amazing how fast that he can do things, and how he signed back up for his parents' Netflix, Disney Plus, and Prime Video was amazing. If it was an Olympic event, I'm sure he would have been on the podium.
Yeah. How come I can't watch Netflix anymore? Because they're cutting down on how many households can have it.
I know.
Right? So.
I don't know how he's going to navigate that or what goes on there, but it seems to be still working. But we only have 2 streams, but I think he has to log in every 30 days or something like that at a different location. Because
we have the same one with our family. Like, I have it on, and then like the nephew or nieces will be like, can you send me the code? And then you just send them the code and they can get in, right?
Yeah, but it's tough because sometimes I can't access it because either he's on it, my wife's on it, or my daughter, and then I'm
and they're always like, pay more for more.
Oh,
You're like, no, I'm good. I am good. Hey, make sure to slam that thumbs up. And so Koob has a present for us that he's going to give it to us, not this segment or the next, but one of the other 4 segments we have left. So I'm a little intrigued and I'm a little worried too, because I don't know what Koob got us, but he says he has a couple of gifts for us for sure. So how about if we hit 100? The quicker we hit 100, the quicker Koob will give us our gifts.
Well, I didn't get the memo. It's EST Blue Shirt Day, but
Koob and I are wearing the exact same EST shirts. So sorry, that wasn't done on purpose. Okay, Oilers win 4-3 on Saturday, Gager. I just want to get your thoughts before I go into a little bit of a rant here.
Okay.
What do you think of the game?
Which one?
Saturday's 4-3 win over the Blackhawks.
I thought it was fine. The end of the road trip, usually you're halfway home, even in the second period, and not a good start. And they just took it over. I was fine with it. I was fine with the end result. It was points that they needed to get. That's a good road trip, man. Looking back at
3-1, man.
like just look at the amount of good, solid periods of hockey they played. That was a lot, And so the end of the line, a little bit of a reset now. That's over. Huge game tonight, but look, they almost made the Gager parlay and took home all 6 games there.
Yeah,
that was really good road trip. Tough. I know you want maybe a full 60, but it's so difficult. Full 60 minutes. Connor's got his jersey retire, all these other little things, probably distractions, stuff like that. Great road trip. That's what it boils down to me.
Because on the post-game show and even seeing the X Machine over the weekend, even into yesterday, Gage, it was like the overreaction because the Oilers had 2 bad first periods in the last 2 games. It's not a constant, right? Like, they haven't been bad in the first period. Like, yeah, you're on a long road trip. You haven't been home in a while. Those things happen, Gage. And the important thing is they won and they were able to bounce back. Like against Chicago, I don't think it was a terrible first period. Yeah, they seemed a little lax and a little lazy to start.
Yeah.
But we got to stop overreacting about these slow starts. Every team has them from time to time, Gage.
Yeah, and I like the response. Look, you can't keep doing this because you don't. The Oilers are an okay team when coming from behind too, right?
Yeah.
They're okay, but they are significantly better playing with the lead. I find, at least over the last, I would say, 2 months. When they get that lead, it causes issues for teams. So they showed some resiliency coming back in that game. They almost did it against the Pens,
Yeah.
But it's 40 some games left or whatever. You've got that has to get out of the system a little bit because when it gets to playoffs or the most important games and against really good teams, they're going to be able to lock it down a little bit better. And playing from behind is exhausting. It wears you down, right?
It does, yeah. And the other thing was that now all of a sudden the Oilers have a goaltending issue. And because Calvin Pickard hasn't been at his best in the last 3 games. No, listen, Gager. His last 3 games, his save percentage has been .871, .889, .864. But in 2 of those games, they won. In 2 of those games that they won, he only gave up 5 goals. It's because there hasn't been a shot volume there. There hasn't been a lot of shots. So now all of a sudden, everybody's like, well, the Oilers have a goaltending problem. No, this is what backups do, right, Gager? They go in there, they give you a chance to win. And, it's not his fault. He only got 17 shots. Yeah, sure, you probably like one of those goals back in one of those games, but the Oilers don't have a goaltending problem. And then I'm seeing the narrative that people throwing out percentages like 80, 90. The Oilers always get out goalied in every game. Since December 1st, Gager, the Oilers have played 18 games up until Saturday. The Oilers have had the better goals against, the better save percentage in 10 of those. That's not even close to 90 or 80%. We got to stop overreacting. Calvin Pickard is fine. He's a backup goalie, and I know a lot of you wanted him as the number 1 when Skinner was struggling, and now everybody wants him out, and all of a sudden Olivia Rodriguez the answer here in Edmonton. Come on, guys, let's get a grip, please. And it's not all the fans, but the Oilers' goaltending is fine, Gager.
And it's durable too. Darcy Kemper's already been on the shelf for a little bit this year.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of other things that with the Edmonton Oilers goaltending situation are more beneficial than you look around the league and it's a lot better. And it's progressing. I mean, I'd much rather have these guys where they're at. It's almost like when you talk to world-class sprinters getting ready for the Olympics, it's a 4-year essential process. And I know there's world championships in there, but they're building towards getting to the height of their game when come playoff time. It's a progression to get your game in that right window. And that's what I think both these guys are doing. There's going to be ups and downs, but are you really going to tell me that the Stuart Skinner at the beginning of the year is just the same as the Stuart Skinner now?
No.
Or Calvin Pickard, like this guy, what more do you want from your number 2? He goes in there and wins hockey games. Who cares what his save percentage is? I mean, we're not hoping for, I don't even know what the King Clancy, is that what it's called? The dynamic duo goaltending award? Who cares about that thing? Just wins, man.
This duo took you to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And yes, the second goal on Skinner wasn't a good one, but the Oilers scored 1 goal. We're down 3-0. And yes, in part, that was, sure, some goaltending, yes, but it was everything. It wasn't just one part of their game that made them go down 3-0. Gager. And you know what the funny thing is that, so since December 1st, they've played 18 games. They've had the better save percentage in 10 of those. You know, the 8, one of those was a 1-0 loss to the Vegas Golden Knights where Stuart Skinner had a 9.38 save percentage. Is that his fault too?
Yeah, so come on.
Like, seriously, we got to pump the brakes on this goaltending. Yes, and what I loved about Calvin Pickard, you know what he said post-game Saturday? I was bad.
Yeah, he takes accountability, just like Baker Mayfield after that fumble. Oof, that was rough. But yeah, that's what you want, man. That's what you want. The accountability of your goaltenders. They say exactly what you think when they play bad, and they tell you when they play good. I can't believe we're talking about goaltending.
Well, it irked me to see it, and I saw it on the post-game show too. Like, yes, I get it. He only faced 22 shots. Save percentage wasn't great. He allowed 3 goals in. But again, guys,
whenever you get upset about the Oilers goaltending, look at their stats, look at their winning percentage, all these things. Then look at the price point and go compare it across the league. It'll feel like you went into Costco with a bunch of coupons and walked out of there saving hundreds of dollars. It's amazing how economically beneficial that goaltending tandem is right now for the Edmonton Oilers.
And I'm telling you this, the Oilers will not be acquiring a goalie this year. They might next year.
Why?
But I'm just saying, like, enough with, like, they should go get John Gibson. Should they go get, like, come on, people.
That guy's got too much bad.
Hammer that thumbs up if you like the Oilers gold.
Yeah, no,
I should have not said that. It's probably not going to get any right now. But
what does the thumbs down do?
It's not a positive. So please don't give us a thumbs down. That's not what we want. Zach says Rodrigue deserves a game or 2, but that is in garbage time after the Oilers clinch.
Why? What does he deserve a game for?
Because he's really good in the AHL.
Yeah, but in this preseason, he didn't warrant a game, right?
Yeah.
If you look back, Stuart Skinner, in preseason, he was good. And when he got called up, I think before he was a full-time NHLer, his last game before getting sent down was a shutout. It was against San Jose or whatever, but that was still impressive, you know? And even Calvin Pickard, like before the whole Jack Campbell fiasco, he played well in preseason. That you're like, okay, let's give this guy a shot. Olivier Rodrigue, you won't see you. Maybe at the end of the year he'll be up here as a third goalie. That's fine, but he has to create a spark, I would say, at training camp next year, just to at some point if there is an injury. I mean, of course he'll get called up, but to put him into a game, he's got to show a little bit more.
MCK says Skinner had a 901 in the playoffs last season, which is not bad, but ask Fear what matters. He didn't give us what we needed in Game 7. The Oilers scored 1 goal. Like, I don't like. Yes, the second goal I didn't like either, but I'm like, if you're gonna put Game 7 on Stuart Skinner, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I didn't like the goal either, but it's 2 goals. And you got 2 of the best players on the planet that didn't put up any points, so.
Yeah,
he gave him a chance.
We gotta get away from blaming every Oilers loss on the goaltender, Gager. And look at that Chicago game.
It's so funny though, because with highlights and lowlights, we basically, when we break down great plays from the Oilers, like goals and things like that, they're mirror images of a lot of the lowlights on the Edmonton side of things. You know, they're the same types of goals, but we're just raving about them.
Because they're all great goalies.
Yeah, yeah, but there's a lot of mistakes by goaltenders in certain situations. It's crazy.
Yeah, and let's pump the brakes on the bad starts. Yes, of course you don't want them to have slow starts, especially against a team like they're facing tonight in the LA Kings. But it was 2 games. They were able to find a win in one of those, so I'm not overly concerned. I'd be more concerned if this becomes a trend gager, like 5-6 games where they just can't seem to get it going in the first. Then we can worry about it, but not in 2 games at the tail end of a road trip. Like you said, McDavid was busy. He was in Erie getting his jersey retired and all that. So these guys are human too. They get tired. Sometimes maybe they're just not up for a game against the basement teams. It happens. It's human nature, guys. So it's going to be interesting. Gager, we got to get to a break. Jordan Maksymic, Elks' new offensive coordinator and assistant coach, is going to join us next. But we have to get to the Oilers today in an interesting decision by Knobloch. He's going in 11-7, which means Jeff Skinner and Derek Ryan are out. And he's dressing Josh Brown. For the life of me, I don't get this. Is it for physicality, but he's going to play, 7-8 minutes? For the life of me, I can't get it, but Joaquin and I will break it down. I'll ask Joaquin why. What's the benefit of going in 11-7? You let us know as well at the River Cree inbox or on the Nasty Chappa. Coming up next from the Elks, Jordan Maksymic joins Joaquin and I. But first up, let's get to a break and a sports update with Zach.
It's a Pacific Division duel between the Oilers and the Kings with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30 only on EST. And there's 2 other games dotting the slate, seeing the Flames battle the Blackhawks and the Panthers play the Flyers. In the CFL, 2 former Elks are on the move, having Dylan Mitchell signed to the Bombers and McLeod Bethel-Thompson agreeing to terms with Montreal. And down south, head coach Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys have mutually parted ways after McCarthy spent the last 5 seasons with the team. And Wildcard action wraps up tonight when the Vikings kick off against the Rams. Elsewhere, there's 6 games in the NBA, including the Raptors facing the Warriors. We have a quick timeout before Elks OC and assistant coach Jordan Maksymic joins EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and that was your sports update.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of Injury Law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
It's 1:21. Thank you for hanging out with us from 1 to 3. Reed Wilkins coming up with Jay Mellon from 3 to 6. And at 6:30, we'll have the Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola, Matt Cassian, and myself as we tee up Oilers and Kings. They're going 11-7. We will get to it. We're going to get to the bottom of it. because I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. 30 thumbs up, Gager.
Sweet.
We're 70 away from 100, so we need to get working on that, as we're just ahead of Jordan Maksymic, Elks OC and assistant coach. If you could only hear what we talk about during the breaks, and Hernan can be wrong sometimes.
It wasn't that bad, buddy.
No, I know, but I felt bad because I was like, no, you're wrong. And then at the end, it turned out that Zach was right, who does have a gift for Joaquin and I. And I think we're going to bring it on in the second hour, and he's going to show us what he got us. Any guesses?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. He says we're not going to guess. It's
Kind of scared here.
So am I. I'm a little scared, but excited too. Are we good to go?
Yeah.
As we welcome in Edmonton Elks offensive coordinator and assistant head coach Jordan Maksymic. Jordan, you're on with Joaquin and Hernan. How you doing?
Good, guys. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, we're doing excellent. Jordan, welcome back to Edmonton. Welcome back to the green and gold, kind of where you got your start here in the CFL. Just, can you first of all speak on just the process of coming back to Edmonton and landing the OC and the assistant head coach role?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was something that Mark Killam and I have known each other for a long time, dating all the way back to 2007 when we worked together in Calgary, and we stayed in touch as each of us kind of went through our career, and it was always something that I think was a goal of ours was to work together again one day. So as we were both going through kind of these head coaching interviews and that whole process, we kept in touch, and Mark was selected as a head guy in Edmonton, and they made a great choice, and he was on the horn talking to me right after that to try and hook up, and I'm glad he did. I'm thrilled to be back.
Jordan, what areas of the offense excite you about coming to Edmonton, and what if you can give us a glimpse, what are we likely to see once the regular season rolls around from you?
Yeah, I mean, first part of your question, I think there's a ton to be excited about. I mean, obviously, first and foremost, the opportunity to work with Trey. He's a young guy. He's electric. Does phenomenal things with the ball in his hand, but still quite raw. So the ability to get my hands on him per se and try and mold him into what we want the quarterback to be in this offense is certainly exciting. I think the way that Edmonton ran the ball to finish the year, Justin Rankin, Javon Leake, both of those guys will be back in the backfield, along with that O-line group and Coach Sorrells, who we were able to retain his services. I think that's a huge element and something I'm very excited to have in our arsenal. As far as what we're going to be on offense, it's going to be a feeling out process. I mean, we're gonna strip it down and we're gonna put the training wheels back on this offense, and we're gonna use training camp to throw some stuff at the wall and see what sticks and see what Trey likes and see what our receivers are good at. And coming out of training camp, we'll get a good idea of what we think we can excel at, and that's what you'll see on game days.
Sorry, I just the follow up. Like, we had Trey on a few weeks ago, and now with the development of the packages, and the offense, is that going to be more of a collaboration between you, Trey, and Cody Fajardo?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm always up for a collaborative process and want to know what these guys like, things that they've done in the past, things that they're comfortable with, and everything. But myself, along with the other coaches that we have on board and in the quarterback room, we're gonna spend a lot of time together, whether it's in the off season or throughout training camp or during the game plan process when we get to the regular season, and make sure that we're doing things that number one makes sense, number two that we think are going to be effective against the defense that we're playing, and number three, and maybe most importantly, that the quarterbacks like and are comfortable with.
Jordan Maksymic joins us here, Elks offensive coordinator and assistant head coach, EST Afternoons. Jordan, You talk about Trey, and here in this city, he's beloved here by the fan base. You said, he's electric, but he is very raw. Now, you got to work with another young Canadian quarterback in BC. He had an outstanding season in 2022. Was just electric as well. What do you see from Trey Ford, and what does he need to work on to become one of the elite quarterbacks in this league?
Yeah, I mean, I think Trey, much like Nathan, needs to buy into the process, and every indication, speaking with him the few times I have since I've gotten this job, is that he is all in. And I think that's what Ed saw and what Mark saw as well, talking to him this offseason. So he's all in. He's going to buy into the program again, much like Nate did in BC, and the way we do things. I don't want Trey to do too much. I just want him to be him. He needs to learn the offense, the language that we speak within this offense, and how to operate it. I think that's what Nathan did a real nice job of early in his career. He didn't try to do too much, or didn't put a whole lot of stress on himself in terms of doing things outside the system. He trusted the system. He kind of let it come to him, and was able to have success that way. And then we kind of took it up a notch as things developed and as he got more comfortable. So we'll start with step one with Trey, and we'll keep it really basic and really elementary, and we'll grow as he grows, and hoping for similar success.
So this time of the year, can you give us a little glimpse onto what your responsibilities are? Are you getting ready for potential free agent signings, or what areas of the offense are you looking to shore up and improve, or is there anyone that you got your eye on right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's all part of the offseason process. I've had some good conversations with Killam and with the assistant coaches and things like that, both of guys that are currently on our roster, potential free agents, guys that we know are under contract and will likely be in training camp, and how we see those guys fitting, where we see them fitting, what we think their skill set is, and then obviously there's a list of free agents and guys that could be available, and we kind of put those guys into a little bit of a rank, so that we know where the targets are, and work with the personnel guys down the road to hopefully bring some of those guys in and make them part of the club.
Jordan, when you look around the league now, I know we talked about it last season as well towards the end, like the quarterback crop in the CFL is really taking that next step. There's a lot of great young guys and a lot of great veterans as well. But it seemed like last year and even the year before, every team's always going to need their two quarterbacks. How important was it for you guys to add a veteran like Cody Fajardo, who's, similar styles to Trey, who can run as well, kind of a dual threat? But how important is it to have a really good second quarterback and a veteran like Cody Fajardo?
Yeah, I mean, critical on so many levels, and you said it. I mean, whether it's in our league or whether it's down south in the NFL, 17-game, 18-game season, two guys that are capable, two guys that can run your offense. I mean, Trey and Cody would be the first guys to tell you that, given the injury situations that they both had to deal with a year ago. But yeah, exciting group of quarterbacks across the league, and just thrilled to get a guy like Cody from a physical standpoint. Like you said, he has a similar skill set to Trey. He's going to be able to do everything we ask him to do. He was in a similar offense with Coach Moss in Montreal that we're going to be running here. So there's going to be a lot of carryover and a lot of familiarity with him. And then from a mental standpoint, he's going to have so many unique things, such a unique perspective that he can provide for Trey, whether it's in the meeting rooms, practice, on game day when Trey comes back to the bench. So to bring a guy like that in that Trey can lean on and learn from is going to be so valuable for the whole football team.
Jordan, going back to just making the decision to come to Edmonton, what were the reasons? Was it just prior relationships, or what made the decision final for you to come back to Edmonton and be part of this team?
Yeah, I mean, mainly relationships with Ed and Mark. I've had a relationship with Ed Hervey since I was a video guy in Edmonton, and he was a scout for the Eskimos. I mean, Ed's helped me so much along the way, whether it was in Edmonton my first time around, bringing me to BC with Coach Campbell after the or during COVID. And then obviously we've kept in touch the last few years, and when he became the general manager, we began to talk. So that connection along with Killam, it was a really good fit. And then the cherry on top is that it's home. My family's there, my wife's family's there, and so be able to come back home plus work for a great organization, it was a no-brainer.
Jordan, I think on behalf of all Elks fans, they want to thank you as well for bringing, I don't know if you had a part in it, but Jason Tucker bringing him home as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolute legend. And he's going to be joining you guys on the offensive side of the ball. Jordan, best of luck this upcoming season. I'm sure we'll chat again, and all the best in 2025. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
That's Jordan Maksymic, the Elks offensive coordinator and assistant coach. And I'm excited, man. This guy's got a brilliant mind for the offense. I was there in 2022 in BC when they just whooped us. And what he did with young Nathan Rourke in his first year, I mean, sky's the limit. So I'm excited to see what he can do with Trey Ford. And I think it's important, Gager, that the backup is a similar style, because then your playbook doesn't change immensely. Where when you had MBT and Trey Ford, they're completely different.
Yeah, I like the collaboration process that he spoke of, right? And so maybe you can get him in here and help you with your Tecmo team and maybe design a package for you.
I won today.
Oh, okay,
I
good.
beat you.
Okay,
You stopped by, so Yukon Jack stopped by. He beat Maddie in the first game, and then I beat him in overtime. So it was great, and he's just ready to roll. And I see Jay's trying to learn now, because the league's going to start up soon, and we're going to see if there's going to be expansion.
Yep.
Yeah, you have no interest.
No.
Zach, I think Zach does, and Zach just walked away, so we can't get to break. But it's too early anyway. So our buddy Zach there. But yeah, Jordan Maksymic, JC Sherritt joined Jay Milne and Reed Wilkins on Friday. Great. It's just a fun and exciting staff. A lot of guys that had ties here as players, and I think that matters because they remember the culture of when the team was always good and fighting for championships. I think that's important. They're going to instill that once again and coming home for a lot of these guys. And that's why I joked about bringing Jason Tucker home. I'd always see him in BC colors, and I'd just shake my head and be like, because he was one of my favorites of all time. So it was definitely hard to see him in different colors. And like I said, my boy Demetrius Maxey coming back from Toronto after a Grey Cup win there for him. And Steven Sorrell stays on, and Aaron Grimes also now the DB coach. He's going to put on the coaching hat. Maybe we'll get him on sometime to see the transition from player. I know he's doing some community work with the Elks, but now he's going to also be the defensive back coach, which is a hard job because DB position is one of the hardest in the CFL.
I saw him at the mall.
Did you say
Yeah.
hi?
No, he was further down. It's hard to miss him, right?
The hair, man.
Yeah, and I would have had to take out at least 4 or 5 people to get to him. It was right around Christmas time.
Zach, my mic sounds a little off here. Can you tinker with it just a bit? Hello. It's like low in my headphones. Like, no, that's perfect there. Thank you. Much better. It kind of goes up and down, Gager, right now. I've been noticing on the good old headphones, so we're just figuring it out.
Maybe you need new headphones.
Maybe I need new ears.
Well, we already know that.
Oh, and so on Friday, I opened the bottle of red you got me.
Oh, yeah.
It was really good, Gager.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, buddy.
Really, really good. I enjoyed it. We made some seafood that night. It was nice, man. It was a good bottle. Something I would buy again. Yeah. Well, the GF was finishing her antibiotics.
Okay.
But she's like, I want to try a sip. So
Yeah,
she had a sip. And yeah, it was really good because we haven't, it was a Syrah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And usually we drink a cab or something. So it was really nice to
change it up.
To change it up a bit, yeah. And the bottle was nice.
Bottle's nice, yeah. Yeah, I knew you were a cab guy, but I thought,
change it up.
Change it up. I used to like the heavy-bodied cabs. Those are great with a big, huge chunk of steak. Oh, my God.
How's the scotch?
So I haven't got into it. I got into it when you got it for me, but I think I'll just save it for special.
Those are like almost like when you have someone over, hey, do you want a scotch on the rocks or something like that? Yeah, it's not like an everyday or every weekend thing.
Yeah, I did. Too strong. So yeah, I did have made a few margaritas over the weekend and Saturday, and just a couple. But it was funny because I made my wife one, and she the next day she goes, "What did you put in that thing?" And I don't know. We just maybe it was, we've been half dry January, I guess, and that was the first time. And yeah, I was. I'll say I was a little sluggish the next day from it.
So she was a little hungover.
Not, I guess it's hungover, but tired. If you, I don't know, the alcohol as you get older, man, it affects you more.
Oh,
and more.
100%. So
God.
I had wine on Friday and I had a few beers, right, and just hanging out. But Saturday I got up, went to work out, sweated it all out.
Really?
Yeah, I felt really good, man.
Yeah, Sunday I just was useless. Not completely useless, but until about 3, and I only had 2 margaritas. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, getting old sucks.
It does suck.
It does. Just some Elks news to finish off this segment. NBT has signed with the Montreal Alouettes. I know through Morley Scott, who's the play-by-play voice of the Edmonton Elks, he put out a thank you to Elks fans through him, saying thank you for the time, despite a rough season and all that, the effort was there and all that kind of stuff. Dylan Mitchell was released Friday, receiver. Really good guy. Very, it's sad to see him go. Him and KB were like brothers on that team, and I got along with both those two gents very well, very close to those guys. But it was just announced this afternoon he signed with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Yeah,
so,
I'm looking at that right now.
Yeah, and I saw something here, and I'm trying to find it. I apologize. It might be Justin Dunk saying that the Elks. Justin Dunk tweeted out about 3 hours ago that the contract talks ongoing between Elks and Eugene Lewis. So maybe there is a way for Gino to return.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so interesting there. 3 Down Nation guys always have the beat on it. Same with Forehand. There was a trade on Friday, too, that we'll get to later here as well. But, yeah, the Elks making some moves, making some signings. And 3 Down also reporting. Now, the Elks haven't made this official, so take it with a grain of salt. But according to 3 Down Nation, the Elks have signed Canadian pass rusher Jonathan Kongbo, who spent time in the CFL. He was really good 1 year, I think, out there in Hamilton. But last year he took the year off, and I know the Elks were close to signing him. We had the release up and everything, and and it was a last minute backup. But it seems like he took some time to work on himself. And according to 3 Down Nation, he has signed with the Elks. The Elks haven't made that official yet, and once they do, we'll bring that to you and maybe have him on the show as well. But portions of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. NHL lives at the Canadian Brew House. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankers of Molson Canadian and Coors Light, and you can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at the Canadian Brew House.com. Coming up next, why are the Oilers going 11-7? We'll break it all down here on EST Afternoons. Keep hammering that thumbs up. It's Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas. But first up, here's Zach with a sports update.
The Oilers are back home briefly to take on the Kings, with the Kings 2 points back of the Oilers, having 2 games at hand. And you can catch Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas at 6:30 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show right here on EST. Elsewhere, Philly hosts the Panthers, and the Flames are on the road to play the Blackhawks. And CFL News sees 2 former Elks signing to new teams, having McLeod Bethel Thompson to the Owls and Dylan Mitchell joining the Bombers. In the NFL, head coach Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Stars have mutually parted ways, while the Rams and Vikings get set to kick off in Arizona for the final NFL Wildcard matchup. On the court, Toronto meets Golden State on a 6-game NBA slate. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc. EST Afternoons returns here on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update
Make a fresh start in the new year with Sentinel Storage. With convenient locations near you, Sentinel Storage is here to help you make space for everything 2024 holds. Sentinel Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hockey lives at the Canadian Brew House. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. Plus, you can win game tickets and a surf and turf dinner for two at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
It's 1:42. Welcome back to EST Afternoons on this Monday. Oilers game day. They take on the LA Kings down at Rogers Place. 7:30 puck drops, a little bit later than the usual time here at home. Big shout out to Jordan Maksymic from the Elks joining us in the last segment. Great conversation. Excited to see what he can do with the offense. All right, let's get to today's game, which is the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings. Of course, they lost in overtime. First time these teams met down in LA. People lost their minds. But it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to this one. It's a big test for the Oilers, who've played a lot of games. So, could they be a little tired or sluggish? Maybe. But Stuart Skinner gets a start in net. No surprise there. But Josh Brown will draw in as the seventh defenseman. They're going to go 11 forwards. Derek Ryan and Jeff Skinner out. Gager, why are they doing this?
Yeah, that's the question. Possibly because the LA Kings do the exact same thing. I don't know. And look, it's a heavier team. Having Brown in the lineup, they did it in Boston, right? Just to have that presence, I think, maybe a little bit more. Someone that's not afraid to have the loose mitts, so to speak. And maybe just having them there, just okay, well, if I do something stupid, this guy might come out on the ice and ask me to dance or whatever, right? So that could be part of it. Watching his game, I don't have too many issues with it. I like his physicality. Looking at the Oilers' hits, it's a little bit to be desired. This is going to be a little bit more of a physical matchup with the LA Kings. I think they play a different style of hockey, but really got goalied in Calgary, who I can't believe that Celebrini is still considered the tops in the runnings for Rookie of the Year when it should be Dustin Wolf. He was unreal.
Yeah, so it's going to be the same lineups, right? So your third line will be Janmark, Henrique Brown, and then Perry and Kapanen will be your 10th and 11th. Top two lines remain the same. RNH with McDavid and Hyman, Paul Golden with Draisaitl and Arvidsson. And then your deep pairings are the same, and you throw Josh Brown in there. Easy says Skinner out again. Did I hear that right? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who, if you're matching tonight, looking at that LA Kings roster, just down the middle, who are you matching up against?
Well, that Byfield Fogle, they
Moore
didn't.
Is back in.
Trevor Moore, who's an Oiler killer. I think Anze Kopitar will go toe-to-toe with probably the McDavid light because they have Kempe there, and Kempe's got wheels. Byfield will go up against Draisaitl. And let's be honest, that Byfield line dominated with their physicality. They scored 3 of the goals. Even their third line is good. Philip Deneau with Alex Laferriere, who's having an excellent season. Kevin Fiala. And then, maybe this is why Josh Brown is playing. Tanner Jeannot, Trevor Lewis, Kyle Burrows. You got 2 tough guys there. So it looks like they're going to go 12-6. So maybe, Gage, you're onto something. Maybe this is just the physicality, having a guy that can respond to maybe if it gets really dirty or someone's trying to muck it up. Yeah. But at the same time, Josh Brown's not going to play a lot, Gage. Right? Like you have to be on the ice to be able to defend your teammates. So interesting. I guess on the flip side, that means you get a lot more Connor and Draisaitl in the game because they're going to be double shifting. Seriously, though.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it was Woodcroft that when we talk a lot about going doubling up Leon and Connor a lot, but this is a lineup that I think you try to keep them apart as much as possible here, just with the strength that LA can come at you down the middle. And I know Kopitar's he's 37 years old, but he's not playing like a 37-year-old. He's still leading the team in scoring, for crying out loud. And that Byfield, we saw what glimpses of what he can do. He's going to be a whale of a player, only 22. And Deneau's just he's a really good, responsible, shutdown center that can score some big goals. So, I think by loading those 2 guys up, becomes a big disadvantage with the strength of the Kings down the pipe.
It becomes easy for LA.
Well, just getting the proper matchups. Yeah, I'll be interested to see. Like I think one of the big things I want to see from the Oilers, obviously it's the start, but just scoring first.
Yeah.
I want to see them get the first goal, because then put the Kings on their heels a little bit, because they're kind of made to play defense. Like they have that. I know that it's a little bit different from what they've been doing over the last few years, but I think you can take advantage of them if they're chasing the game a little bit more.
Yeah, I think I think that's the key, Gager. I think that's the big key is unless it's after a PK that the Oilers kill, you come out with the top line like they always do, but don't make it a habit, because then the other 3 lines are going to roll the Oilers. They are.
Yeah.
So that's why maybe that he's doing it, because to get McDavid and Draisaitl out there on different lines and to see what happens. So let us know at the River Korean box or on the Nasty Chat. Are you okay with 11-7? Which is weird, because that was kind of Jay Woodcroft's thing. He loved going 11-7, and it also had to do with the personnel he had.
Yeah,
right. There wasn't that much depth on the team, so we all understood why. But Knobloch has openly said, "I'm not a big fan of 11-7." So I think Josh Brown is in there just because of the physicality, and that is all. Edmonton currently 2 points up on the LA Kings for second in the Pacific Division, but they have 2 games in hand. Edmonton 55 points, LA 53. LA's power play is not very good. It's only at 15%. 15 goals on 100 attempts, Gager. Not very good. PK's probably mid-pack. They're 81.8%. The Oilers right now 24.8 on the power play, 76.8 on the PK. That keeps coming up. It's going to take a while because of the bad start they had, Gager. But interesting that they're going in 11-7. I mean, knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't happen. But if they lose this game, people are going to look back at this decision and break it and tear it down. And,
no, you don't see it that much. And, it's... I don't mind it, because you never know if you're going to have to. You might as well do it now against a team that, hey, you might have to implement this at some point, right? There could be injuries or whatever, and you want an extra body in there just in case. Like the last thing you want to do is, if you're going with 60 and then someone gets hurt or someone's a little bit nicked up and might not be able to, play the full game, you don't want to get bumped down to 5 and then, get a penalty, you're down to 4D, things like that, right?
This one says, is there an actual reason why Skinner's not in the lineup? Is he sick, or is he injured, or is he just a healthy scratch? Does Knobloch have a problem with Skinner? Well, I think was that Tony? It says Tony and Colton, so I don't know what's going on here. But to answer your question, I don't think he's sick or injured, Gager. I just think he's not a player the coaching staff likes.
No.
It's not personal. The style of play doesn't fit what they want. They prefer Podkolzin in the top 6, and which is fine. Podkolzin is producing a lot more consistently than he was earlier on, so that's a good sign. Evander Kane is a big question mark, but you're going to add at the deadline. So I think Jeff Skinner's just him and Derek Ryan are going to be the odd man out because you look what Corey Perry did on Saturday. Like when that guy can play, like he's still pretty silky, man, with the mitts.
Oh, the Oilers have 3 Hart Trophy winners, and Corey Perry's among them. He's adjusted his game where in spurts he can be very influential in a game. He's a pest.
Yeah.
Everyone, he's hated. It's funny how we love him now, but he's one of those guys that has that unique ability to get under the skin of other teams. And some of the passes he can make down low, find players. Someone said something funny the other day too, like, oh, he's lost a step. Has he ever really had a step? That's obviously he's a little bit slower now than he was when he was younger, but he's so smart that I think it makes up for it in a lot of cases. Like, when do you ever really see speed being a factor of a detriment when Corey Perry is on the ice?
No.
It's never. It's never a direct result of a goal against, I don't think.
No.
He doesn't allow that to happen. So, yeah, I think it's great. And it's so versatile to have a guy that, usually in your bottom 6 that can be put up into your top 6 if you need a little bit of a spark or, it's funny because Zach Hyman goes down or something. Who are you putting out there on the power play? It's Corey Perry.
And on Saturday, he made the move. He actually took Podkolzin off Draisaitl's line.
Yeah.
The first time since going nuclear. And he put Podkolzin down on third line. So there's 2 things I like. Corey Perry can play anywhere because he went up to the Draisaitl line, was fantastic. And then it shows up Podkolzin because Podkolzin went to play with Henrique and Janmark, I think, and he didn't look out of place, Gager. He looked fine.
Yeah.
Because Connor Brown did ride the pine a bit that game after his giveaway that led to Chicago's 3rd goal. So he missed a few shifts. They were sending a message. So it's good that he will go away from Podkolzin and Draisaitl, and it's good that Podkolzin looked good with other players.
This is a big game too, man. These are 2 really big points. Very beneficial if the Edmonton Oilers can find a way to put this away in regular time here. Within the first 60 minutes, don't give the LA Kings a point because Edmonton at 55, LA at 53, but LA's got 2 games in hand on the Edmonton Oilers, right?
Yeah.
So just put a little bit more distance between you. I mean, you are going to play each other in the first round anyway, but you want home ice. You do. Because, I know we've only seen 1 game, but from what I've seen, it's going to go 6 or 7 against that team.
Yeah, it's just. Vegas just continues to win.
I watched. Did you get a chance to flip over and watch a little bit?
I did not. No.
It was. The first period I watched a bit of, and it was pretty. I felt it pretty even. And then the second, it looked like Vegas just started taking the game over from the Minnesota Wild. Like and they pounded them. They're a scary team, man.
Yeah, they are, man.
They are really, really good.
That's 4 lines that are all good. That's 6 defensemen that are all solid. Can move the puck, can defend, can be physical. Like it's a good team, man.
Yeah, well, Minnesota couldn't get anything going.
Yeah.
Like I think they only had 15 shots or whatever, something ridiculous like that.
That's just crazy. So, and you're right, Gager. You probably saw that somewhere that it looks like the Kings are going 11-7. Either is the same, so it's probably that's why they're matching. No, to be clear, Josh Brown's going in for Derek Ryan, not for Jeff. Jeff Skinner sat out last game, right?
Yeah,
yeah. So it's not.
Maybe he's going up on the wing.
Can you imagine a couple of shifts up there?
It just gets a little bit nasty. Maybe. Face off against Jeannot at one point. I don't mind that. He's game.
Jeannot fought Lomberg.
Yeah,
that was a good tilt.
Great tilt.
Some big boys there. Well, Lomberg's not even that big.
He's like those. He's like Vinny Pazienza. If you remember him as an old boxer, just Tasmanian devil.
Yeah,
he's game for everything.
Oh boy, it's the kind of guy you'd like because he can play too. Which is the big difference, right?
Yeah.
So we're at 53 thumbs up. Keep hammering that. If we hit 70 by 2 o'clock, that's 4 minutes. 70, we will reveal Zach's presents to Joaquin and myself.
Oh wow.
If not, then the number's going to keep getting higher every segment, and we might have to push it till tomorrow. I'm very excited. I'd like to open these presents today, Gager. What about you?
I love surprises. It's always great. I'm just a little bit scared about this one.
Yeah, it is definitely scary. And just an update on the Fun Spiel that's going down on February 15th. The EST Fun Spiel sold out.
What?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, so it's going to be good. And you want
at the Shamrock, eh?
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
That's fun, man. You don't curl, though. Have you ever curled?
We went, so we had, my cousins came down from Chile once, and we were hanging out.
Is
and
it
all
down
that.
or up? Which way did they come?
Up.
Okay.
Yeah, they came up from Chile, sorry. And we're like, what do you guys want to do? And they're like, well, why don't we go curling? And it was the summer, so curling rinks were pretty available, and we went, and it was awful. Because there was, like, teams practicing beside us, and they're probably so annoyed because we're just trying it for the first time. And it's hard, man.
Very hard.
Like, even just sweeping, like, it's, and the balance and like, tossing the rock, it's hard, man. It's a hard sport.
Yeah. Make sure you got your spandex pants on.
Spandex?
Oh, yeah.
And you need certain shoes?
No, they've got little things that you can put on your shoes. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
And just or stretchy jeans. You don't want to be wearing Tommy's tight jeans, that's for sure. You want to be able to get down in the hack.
I always wonder what a proper outfit is, because you see the pros and they wear their like
guaranteed Tommy's coming looking like a Norwegian champion with some checkered pants. And stuff. He'll be a white belt for sure. Very tight polo shirt.
I think Lieutenant Eric curls more often.
He does, yeah. You want him? Like I'd like to curl on his team.
I think him and his wife are making a team, and they need 2 more.
Oh, really?
So if you want to jump on a good team, that's probably the place to go. Because I don't know how many guys here curl outside of Eric.
No.
I can see you two, Trev, being good. Jay Milne's probably good. He's good at everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think Maddie's curled too, but I think everybody else has been kind of. I mean, because curling's not like hey, let's go curling one day. Do you know what I mean?
It is, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's just not in my circle, but.
And when I was a kid, like where, the playing hockey Saturday nights or whatever at the, all the rinks usually had a curling rink attached to it. That's where I had to go grab my parents out of, trying to see through them all the smoke. And they'd have a few pitchers and then drinking with all the other parents. And they didn't curl, but they'd be watching the curling and stuff. My grandfather was a huge curler. North Shore Winter Club.
I just want to go and like have beers and watch. Like that's sometimes the best. Like you just
you gotta participate too, man.
Yeah, of course. But if you're not the best or you hurt your back or anything like that,
Jesus.
I can feel my lower sciatic going. My lower back, not my lower sciatic. I'm old. All right, guys, that does it for hour 1 here. Up next, we're gonna recap NFL weekend, wildcard weekend. Still one more game to go tonight at 6. Vikings Rams from Arizona due to the fires in LA, but we'll break down the NFL and continue the Oilers talk here on EST Afternoons. It's Joaquin Gage, it's Hernan Salas, it's Edmonton Sports Talk. We're back after the break.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix. And and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreekresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
It's a Pacific Division duel between the Oilers and the Kings with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30, only on EST. And there's two other games dotting the slate, seeing the Flames battle the Blackhawks and the Panthers play the Flyers. In the CFL, two former Elks are on the move, having Dylan Mitchell signed to the Bombers and McLeod Bethel Thompson agreeing to terms with Montreal. Down south, head coach Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys have mutually parted ways after McCarthy spent the last 5 seasons with the team. And Wildcard action wraps up tonight when the Vikings kick off against the Rams. Elsewhere, there's 6 games in the NBA, including the Raptors facing the Warriors. You're locked and loaded here on EST Afternoons. Hour 2 starts right now. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and that was your sports update.
Welcome back to EST Afternoons, hour 2 here on this Monday. Another nice day in the city of Champs. Supposed to be like +7 tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. Jeez. It's not good for the slush in your cars out there for sure, but...
I hate this.
Yeah.
I hate the tease, man.
I know.
It's the tease. Then everyone starts thinking, oh my gosh, is it spring? And then, boom, -36.
Boom. Yeah. It's funny because all week, Gager, it's like +7, +6, +5. Then Friday, -16.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's going to feel so bad. Like right now, walking the pooch and stuff, it's great. You know, I can go in a hoodie, don't need gloves. Awesome. But, yeah, there's always a tease in January. And you start thinking, wow, you know what? That wasn't a bad winter. And then we just we'll get punished here.
And then you think you're through it, and it snows in the last week of April.
Yeah. Well, that's, usually you got to get to spring break, because when my kids were younger, we used to always go to Banff and go skiing for a few days, and it always seemed like we'd go down, there'd be snow. When we come back, a lot of it had melted, right? And it was pretty good.
KD says, I hate this. ODR is toast. Yeah, it's not good for the ODRs.
Gosh, right. Yeah, it hasn't been great ODR weather the last couple years, right? Like it
hasn't.
It's been terrible because it's either been slush or -30, and you just can't do it.
Well, Big Uke says, just remember, gents, 1 year ago today, the overnight temp was -50, feeling like -58.
Really?
Yeah, we got a really cold 4-day stretch last year.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's so fun. Like you open your door and it looks like your house is on fire because all the hot air is leaving.
Oh, it's not good. Hit us up on the good old nasty chat. Watch us on the YouTube channel if you want to listen to us. It's always the iHeart or the TuneIn radio apps, and you can also go to Edmonton Sports Talk.com and just hit the listen live as we come to you live from the William Huff Studios here in the lovely west side of the city. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. Engager, we won't reveal our presents because we're only at 67 thumbs up. So now we got to bump it up at least over 80 by the next segment, or we'll have to continue to wait for the present. Mr. Zachticum got Joaquin and myself. All right. So Eagles Packers yesterday. I don't know if you saw AJ Brown was on the sidelines and they caught him reading a book.
Yeah. No, the guys were talking. I didn't see it. But.
Yeah, like he's reading, like, so then they asked him after the game, and he said it's an inspirational book. So he takes quotes, kind of gets him in the. So good on him. It's just rare to see something like that during a high intensity playoff game. That book is called Inner Excellence, Gage.
Okay.
As of today, on Amazon, it's the number one seller.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I got to write a inspirational book and get into the hands of some NFL guys.
Weirdest thing a teammate ever had on the bench or did on the bench that you can share? Because that's weird. Like you're reading a book.
Chewing tobacco. Like I played. Oh yeah. Some of the Swedes would snooze during the game. Just throw it upstairs, and it's pretty gross.
I was telling you the CFL is really turning into that as well.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of guys are chewing during practice. And
I chewed
weird,
tons, man. It was glorious. I loved it. In Sweden, they have the general snooze, and it was so good, man. Some of my best memories as a younger guy would be snooze and like playing a video game, and it was just heaven.
Oh,
I loved it, but it's so bad for you. I quit years ago, but it was great because that was the only one I really liked. Like Copenhagen, if it was like razor blades in your mouth, so. The Swedish stuff was so good, but I would get it from Sweden and order it. But it said Swedish snus, and when it would come across the border, I don't think they knew what it was, so they didn't have to pay duty on it. Oh. But then it was like a year later, they finally figured out what this stuff was, and then I think I left the last one because the duty on it was outrageous prices. I was getting this stuff for free, basically.
Zach, you want to chime in on the chewing?
Well, yeah, I was going to ask there, Hernan, is it chew or is it Zins or Zonix?
Well, because I've seen ones that come in little packets.
Yeah, the little containers, they look like mints almost.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Weird.
So, like, what's that called?
Well, it'd be, it wouldn't be chewing because you don't chew it. You kind of just stuff it. It's a lip pillow.
Well, you don't chew the other stuff, too. You just kind of let it sit there, right?
Yeah. Like, don't try and chew
it.
It's
not Big League Chew or whatever.
Remember Young Guns, the movie? Yeah. Remember Dirtface?
Yeah.
And he always had
the big
but
thing.
that was like real tobacco.
That's loose leaf, like Red Man.
Yeah.
Guys used to put, like you would get Red Man and then Big League Chew and put it in your mouth and mix it together so you're chewing it together. It was, I would fall down. It tastes good.
Ooh, I don't know, man. Like, that's not good for your gums or anything. Eh?
Did they play with it?
No.
Oh, yeah. It's terrible.
No, it's terrible.
Did anyone play with it though? Like, go out there and they had some...
No, baseball players play with it
all
the time. Yeah.
The big gum, too. That's a good... The big chew.
Big chew,
that?
yeah. No, but I remember the first time I ever tried it at Notre Dame. It was called Kodiak. So it only came in wintergreen. I was on the floor. I had to go like stand in the shower afterwards. I was just dizzy, saying, "I'll never do that again."
It's like when the boys on the Sandlot they quit before going on rides. Remember that? So, what's the weirdest thing your sports team, someone on your sports team, has done on the sidelines? Because reading a book is definitely up there, but he was getting inspiration. Maybe he was trying to keep it positive, and that book now is the number one seller on Amazon. It's called Inner Excellence. So if you want to check it out, there is the name. Gager, that game, meh. Jordan Love, not very good in that one. No. Jalen Hurts, good enough. Saquon, you know what I love? So Saquon, the game was over. He's going to break a long run. He goes down. And then everybody's like, he did that on purpose to screw the bettors. Like, do you think these guys care about that?
No.
You think that's on their minds? Like, give it a rest. They give two you-know-whats about your bets.
You heard Saquon afterwards. He was asked why he did that. Yeah. He goes, it was completely unnecessary to do that at that point. Look, I keep going. I blow a hammy. Maybe one of my teammates gets hurt.
Yeah.
And it would just go down, end the play. It's done. We're done. We're moving on. Yeah. Like, that's what you want, man. That's from your stars like that. The focus to see the benefits of what you're doing in the moment to move on to the next stage and keeping everyone healthy. I respect him for it.
But people that, like, there's people that really believe he did it to screw them over on their bet.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I'm like, what's wrong with
He's not looking at your slips. Okay, how many people got this? Okay, I'm gonna break for and make it look like I'm gonna score and then go down. right?
Like I almost think at that point, players like Saquon don't even know what they're at for with yards. Like they probably look at it after, like, hey, what am I at? Like, am I at 100, 200? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I that would be a great question to ask guys if they look at their lines. Like if I'm Saquon Barkley before a game, am I looking to see my under rushing yards that day? No, I don't think so.
Like they have so much on the line in these games. Like I don't think they care.
Look, and you don't even want to be looking at betting stuff in the NFL.
No,
as a player, you're staying completely away from that. Do not even tempt to look at that and go, oh, you know what? I got over 100 today. you know? You don't want.
Oh wait, I got 5 more yards, and I'm gonna help come on.
No.
Gazzola says, what was better, Chew Kodiak or Grizzly?
Grizzly. Yeah. What was better? I can't remember Grizzly. I don't know. Tommy's he's all bozoned out there, so I don't know what he's talking about. But Kodiak was awful.
I'd just say just have a dart. A nice DeMaurier.
They're all gross.
All right.
You don't smoke menthols?
Oh, menthols are gross, man.
No?
No. Why even smoke?
Maybe freshen up.
No, it's ugh. No. Just a light, regular DeMaurier that, like it's not like the king size or anything like that. And again, I'm not a regular smoker, so.
It was cool when you'd go down to the States and because it was so cheap down there. And playing junior, of course, we had tons. But Copenhagen, the tins, it was metal, so it looked really good. Looked really, really good. And even when I remember the Molson Indy, I got pictures next to the Copenhagen Indy car, holding out my chew, thinking I'm badass. What an idiot.
Oh, boy. All right, Gager. Texans all over the Chargers. Like you said, Justin Herbert, 4 interceptions. I don't know what to think of that team. I don't know what to think of Justin Herbert, to be honest, because there's so much praise for him, but he just doesn't get it done, man.
Look, I don't watch the Chargers enough. I basically read, but I watched a little bit of that game, and he wasn't good.
No, he was terrible.
He was awful. Yeah. So... And I think there was a little bit of hype, him coming in. What was he going to do? He's lost.
Under Harbaugh.
He's only had one other playoff game. Yeah, and Harbaugh, this is kind of interesting to me. But, yeah, they had nothing. They had nothing.
Your boy Lamar looked great that game. I know it was a 2-score game, but it wasn't close.
Yeah, it looked like there could have been something, but no, they shut the door. The game of the night was the Commanders. That was Commanders-Bucks was even if you didn't like either team, that was an enjoyable because I really
I'm a Commanders fan now.
Are you?
Playoffs, remember? I jumped on.
Oh right, you did. Daniels is fantastic.
Star man. I think he's going to be Mahomes-like, man. Maybe not close to 3 championships and all that, but the guy does not play like a rookie, Gager.
Oh,
the play before they went for to get the 4th down to set up the field goal or something like that. He was laughing with the other players.
Well, that was the hard count, try to dry him offside, right?
Like he's so calm.
Yeah. Well, even sitting for the field goal and his reaction afterwards is like, oh, stupid kicker.
So Zane Gonzalez goes out there to hit it, and he has you saw him touching his hair a bunch of times. Someone who has OCD, I was like, I get it, because I'm like, put your helmet on. You're making me nervous.
I mean, if he has to touch his hair 4 times before he kicks a ball, I don't know what it was, but I was like, Jesus, guy's got no hair. What are you moving? It's not. That thing's not moving anywhere. But then to get the doink in. Gosh.
When it left his foot, you can see it was going wide.
Well, and I think it was Collinsworth saying they want to go to the left hash because right-footed kickers usually put a little bit of a draw on it, right? But he shanks his. And it was like, oh my God, is he going to miss this? And is there a better sound? Puck hitting the post and going in for a goal for your hockey team is pretty cool with that loud ding. But a doink and it goes in on it's amazing how loud that is.
And Tarico's calls and the doink, and I can't remember. It was just great.
It was great.
Good on them. I'm very happy for that team. They've been through some tough times. Our guy Jay Milne's very happy about it.
You know what? I like Baker Mayfield. Like I think just what he went like the Browns. They must be so upset that they let him go, but whatever. Great season. I loved the when he. I don't know who he ran over there. He kept the ball, ran up the middle. They couldn't bring him down. He got the first down. I thought, okay, this is what a great quarterback battle we have. But then just that they stopped them inside the 10.
Yeah.
Fourth down. They come out and he fumbles. The ball. And that's been a problem for them all year.
Yeah, it was the best game of the weekend. It wasn't even close. Like you said, Broncos first drive, you're like, holy smokes, this is gonna be a good game. And then the Bills Josh Allen took over with the running back there, Cook. It was over. I did like the fake punt though. The punter what a throw, man.
It was a great throw.
I was like, good on you, man. The cojones on you to call that play at that point in the game. But none of the games were relatively close. What
about tonight? What do you think?
Oh, I think I'm going to go Sam Darnold and the Vikings.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think they get her done.
God, I don't
You're going
think
Rams,
so.
eh?
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll have it on here while we're doing pregame, and I always have it on my phone just off to the side to make sure I'm not missing much.
Yeah.
And, I think it's going to be the Vikings. I think Sam Darnold is set for it. So we have our matchups for next week. So the Texans will go to Kansas City. Man, I'm going to be on that Texans bandwagon hard. I'm so sick of the Chiefs, man. Commanders go to Detroit. That's going to be a tough test. But two coaches that like going for it on fourth down because the Commanders yesterday, holy smokes. Kick the damn field goal.
Leave the punters at home and kickers at home. We're going for two, and who cares who kicks the kickoff?
The game of the weekend, Ravens-Bills, man. It's a shame that one of these guys has to be out, Gager.
Well, whatever. I don't care. I know it's be nice to be further along, but yeah, that's gonna be the big one.
That's gonna be an awesome game. And then the Eagles await the winner of today. So that's why, I just think the Vikings can give the Eagles. I can't stand the Eagles. Right? I love Jalen Hurts, but I can't stand their coach. There's something about Sirianni. I just don't want him to win. But I do like Barkley and I do like Jalen Hurts. But I think the Vikings can give them a better fight than the Rams can.
You think so?
I feel like I'm selling short here on the Rams, man. Like I don't know why I don't believe in them. Maybe because they're a division in the division the 49ers are, and I just don't want to give them any credit. But it's going to be interesting. Now, if the Commanders can pull off the upset in Detroit, can you see that or no? No.
I find Sirianni's funny because when I was looking at him on the sidelines, I go, "Is that Nick Foligno?" Like it feels like he looks exactly like Nick Foligno from the Blackhawks.
He does.
It's like,
Put a Duke on Foligno.
I know. Yeah. When did Nick Foligno start coaching the Eagles?
Norman the Combine says, lots of room, Hernan. The bus has a few seats. Yes. All right, guys, it is 2:19, and once again, you have let us down. We will not be opening the gift Zachticum got Joaquin and I because we're only at 76. So now in the next segment, we're going to need 90. Like we keep going up, Gager. I want to open my present, but we need the thumbs up to do so. So we've missed the last two marks. Will we hit it by 240? We need to be at 90 by 240, and Zach will present us with our gifts. We'll continue.
Tommy Gazzola, in the nasty chat, being weird. Kodiak was moist, right? Trying to remember the moistness of Kodiak Chew. Yes, Tommy, Kodiak was quite moist.
And with that, we're going to go to a break. And we're back with more NFL, more CFL, and more Edmonton Oilers, LA Kings talk as they face off against each other at Rogers Place. 7:30 puck drop will be on the air with Tom Gazzola for the Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30. We're back after the break, but here's Zach with your sports update.
Oilers and Kings throw it down for a Pacific Division showdown with the Oilers up 2 points on the Kings, having LA with 2 games at hand. And you can tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, having Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live at 6:30 right here on EST. And around the league, it's a Flyers meeting the Panthers before Calgary visits Chicago. In the CFL, former Elk Dylan Mitchell has signed with the Bombers, while McLeod Bethel Thompson is moving out to Montreal to join the Als. Down south, head coach Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys have mutually agreed to part ways, while the Rams and Vikings kick off in Arizona for the final NFL Wildcard matchup. On the court, Toronto meets Golden State on a 6-game NBA slate. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, and whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly contribution, every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. We have a quick break before Hernan and Joaquin continue EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Hockey lives at the Canadian Brew House. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. Plus, you can win game tickets and a surf and turf dinner for 2 at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of The Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
This is your chance to win big with the Split the Pot Lottery. Support the Capital Care Foundation to help Alberta seniors get the care they deserve and support more healthcare foundations across the province. With a grand prize draw that grows with every ticket sold, the jackpot is hundreds of thousands and just keeps getting bigger. Visit splitthepot.ca and buy your tickets now. Don't forget to pick Capital Care Foundation as your foundation of choice. Next jackpot is January 16th, license number 713959.
All right, some Latin flavor for you there coming back from the break. 2:23. Welcome back to Edmonton Sports Talk, CSC Afternoons. Our guy, Joaquin Gage. I'm Hernan Salas. Zach Kubusch in the house. We're 4 away from hitting our mark, so Zach can present us with our gifts. I have no idea what to expect. Sorry?
Just 4?
Just 4 away.
Oh,
just 4. He's getting it ready. He's
Tommy. Getting the nasty chat. Did Tommy used to chew a lot? I don't.
Yeah, I didn't know that about Tom.
Yeah, Tommy's all fired up about chewing tobacco.
I did not know he was into that. Interesting. Might have to get his expertise in here.
Maybe that ring in the back of Tommy's 501s was a can of chew. I always thought it was something else.
Doug Dad says, no, that's a tune. Oh, yeah. Spanish music will always get you in a good mood. There is no bad, well, there is, but that kind of music is pretty
I don't know many like Latin artists.
Bad Bunny?
No, I don't know. What about Los Lobos?
Yeah.
I guess Santana, Los Lobos.
Los Lobos.
And Ricky Martin.
From Menudo.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Saturday mornings.
Michi R says cumbia. You're right. That's what cumbia, some little bit of salsa. Yeah, it's.
Can you do the salsa?
I can dance Spanish music. I'm not very good. Like the GF's really good. And
really?
Like I can dance with her, but there's people that are like, there's like her brother's really good. Like really good. Yeah.
What about the lambada? The forbidden dance.
The forbidden dance.
Do you do that?
No, I can't. I can, if I tried, I probably could.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Like if you're Spanish and you can't dance, it's one of these across the head. Right? Yeah, like everybody, everybody can at least keep a rhythm, right? Just maybe swaying back and forth, Gager. But
Yeah.
Well, you've been to Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you probably danced there. Just
Oh yeah, I
having
can't
a few
remember, but it was funny. We went down at the end of the year. One year, it was me and a bunch of the guys, and Mike Comrie was with us, and yeah, we were having a good time. But the bathroom was so far away and to get through everyone was so hard.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it, but Mike basically bought a bouncer that night so he could go to the bathroom when he wanted to, and somehow he got a megaphone too. And he was just saying, "Who wants to go to the bathroom?" And then he was leading people like a conga line to the bathroom. It was hilarious.
Van Owen says Vallejo had a couple of great albums back in the day. Hermanos Gutierrez, top notch. There's a lot of good bands. It's called Rock Latino. It's really good. Like if you listen to the '80s stuff, there's a lot of good reggae albums that are in Spanish. And the big thing is now reggaeton, which is like Bad Bunny and all those guys. Which it's for the young kids, but I don't mind it from time to time. We have hit 90 thumbs up. 10 away from 100. Please let us get it there. But Zach, explain what's going on here, because you said today you had gifts for us, and I don't really know what's going on. So,
well, it's not like it's not a huge gift, but it's very relevant because it's something that you hold near and dear to your heart. I guess you would. You're very passionate about this gift, I guess. And I saw it the other day. I wasn't actively looking for it, and I saw it. I'm like, I have to get that because you're talking specifically about it. Would you guys like me to unveil the gift? I didn't bring a gift bag. It's kind of just in a Walmart.
That's all right. That's all right, man.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Jeez.
So we all get one. It's all the same thing. Let me get the camera up here for those watching on YouTube. And Gager, have you ever tried real coconut water?
Yeah, but that's intriguing. It looks like a coconut.
Yeah, it's a real coconut.
Oh, okay. Is it really?
Yeah.
This is awesome.
I know.
Look at this.
I'll bring it over to you boys.
After you trying to get me to stop drinking coconut water.
I didn't try to get you to stop. I just wanted you to not have an accident.
Oh, look at
these things, eh? Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at this.
Like we're in Mexico.
Oh.
Easy open, so it's already done.
Yeah.
Packed
you pull the
for
plunger off.
This is amazing.
A young coconut is what it says. I don't know how you open this thing.
Here, how about we do it in the break, and then we'll come back drinking But look at...
Thanks, Koob.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
This is great. That's very
young
thoughtful.
coconut.
Mm-hmm. I was going to get one for Hernan, but of course, Gager, I had to get one for you as well.
that's
I didn't want to
great.
leave you out of the
the
mix, right? It says easy open, so...
Yeah.
It wasn't that easy just now. But
No. And there's a snake on the side.
Look at... Ooh. Yeah.
Well, so you're the wooden snake.
Well,
I
is
think,
there
but I don't
is
know
there
if that
alcohol
has
in
any
this? What
relation.
is this? Is this a pina colada?
No, it's virgin. It's virgin.
You know what's going to go good with this? Penner's Pancakes 40 of Bacardi you dropped off for us.
Oh, I can't. Jesus. Sorry, there's no pre and post game show because Hernan's sleeping.
I think you're supposed to punch that plastic cap through.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. We don't look like idiots.
This is great. Thanks.
Yeah,
you're
thanks,
welcome.
That was worth the wait. I'm very excited to try this. Very excited. This is
very
great.
thoughtful, actually.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you where you got these. I'm gonna have to pick up a few.
And they're not too much. They're not too much. So they're about the same price you pay for your canned ones. So step up your game.
Okay, so in the final segment, we'll have everything ready to go, and we'll try it on air and see what it tastes like.
Yeah,
I like it. Like I know people, I know it's not for everybody because it does have a weird, it's not the best tasting.
I love coconut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Reed shutting the door. He's not a big fan of coconut water, so
Reed's channeling his inner Spud Webb.
His Spud Webb. And thanks, Koob, once again.
I figured it out.
Okay, so can you fill me in on something? Was there an issue with the Paninos on Dusty's show? Was there something?
Well, remember when I went over there?
Yeah.
And I came back. I said, "Hey, I think what I said was, Dusty ain't touching one of these." and you said you were sitting there. And I said, "Why?" Yeah. And I go, "Oh, it's veggie." And you go, "They have veggie?" I go, "Yeah, of course." You go in there. There's veggie. There's mild. There's hot.
Yeah.
They've always had, Tommy, if you're listening, they've always had veggie sandwiches. And then so I had, but when I went in there, I was thinking, ooh, maybe there's a hot one in there. Those were gone. Those were all gone. So there was 2 veggies. I think there was just 2 long veggies and a mild, I think. So I just thinking, okay, you know what? I'll take the one that probably no one else is going to really want.
Yeah.
So I took, and I like the veggie one. I think it's delicious.
It looked amazing.
It's awesome.
Yeah. No, but like, what was like? Were they complaining because there was none left?
Yeah.
Oh.
But there were.
Oh.
They were, but they were veggie.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I think they had one, and then someone else had the other mild. I don't know if there was another hot in there. So the meat ones were gone except for one more. And then there's still a veggie in there.
Yeah, there's a full veggie in there, and I left it in over the weekend. I was like, should I take this? Because, of course, veggie, you got to eat it fast. It's not like the meat, you know. You can have that sit around for a few days. But
it's like vodka. You can't, once you open it, you got to drink it.
I know.
Don't want that to go bad.
Just put it in the freezer, man. So I went to see Tommy on Saturday for the game. He was at BP.
Oh, yeah.
I had a gin Caesar. So good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, better than vodka.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had those too. Yeah.
Just gives it a different taste. This one with no name says Gloria Estefan in the Miami Sound Machine. Remember that one?
Of course we do.
And then just a few more here says Safety Bob, playing in the AJHK playoffs. I was a 4th-line plug. We went to overtime in Game 3. Knew I wasn't getting another shift, so me and the backup threw in a big old chew and hung out at the end of the bench. No pressure, just cracking jokes and peeking the other team. One of the best times of my playing career. That's great.
I used to sneak into either Yanni Nienema's stall, because he chewed all the time too.
Yeah.
And I wasn't playing that much, so I'd throw one in there. And if Tommy or whatever,
I love Tommy the Chew guy.
yeah, Tommy the Chew guy. Jeez, but yeah, you'd always see some spit on the. Freddie Olson, I think he chewed lots. He constantly had one in. He was a great guy.
Wadding Cloverdale says, our Pee Wee team got the chewing bug back in the 90s. Little brown spots all over the ice in practice. Coach glued in a bag and bag skated us. No more dips in practice after that. Wadding Cloverdale.
Yeah, I've told this story before, but my Ken Hodge, my junior coach, who sat 3 rows back from the back of the bus smoking Marlboro Lights, he would, on long road trips, he knew some guys would chew, and this one guy, Adam Murray, was laying down in the back chewing, and he found him, and he come here, and he pushed his lip and made it go all around and told him to swallow it. It was really gross.
Max Bezuza says, is Javiera Mena huge in Chile, or is she an indie pop artist like she is worldwide? That's a good question. I don't know Max Bezuzu. I had to Google her, to be honest. Again, I'm not in Chile, so I don't know. She might be. But yeah, it's a good one. She is a Chilean singer, songwriter, musician, and recorder. Okay. Cool.
K-Gill 39, I saw this. Just maybe talk about this a little bit. Guys, why is Josh Brown up here and not Phil Kemp? Kemp. Did I say Kemp? Kemp.
I don't know. Why would Phil Kemp be up here?
I don't know either. He's, you know what? This could be because maybe one of the Oilers defensemen are questionable or a little banged up.
Or
right? Sick, yeah.
Yeah, so Phil Kemp, I don't know why he would be up here.
Yeah, he doesn't play D.
No, he's a D, but
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why he'd be up here, though.
Yeah.
And Josh Brown's up here because they're paying, it was wrong, and whoever suggested this signing, they made a mistake. But, I mean, he's up here because of his physicality. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's why he's here, because he can
He's
fly.
he's a little bit of a deterrent.
Yeah,
I think.
That's why he's up here. And we all know that he struggles playing, and we all know he's limited to what he can bring. I get that, but he's a guy who's played a ton of NHL games. And for coaches, there is some value in that. For a guy that's going to play 8 to 10 minutes, guys. Do you want Phil Kemp up here just for, unless you give me something tangible, this guy's playing really well. This guy's a shutdown guy. I can't sit here and tell you Phil Kemp should be up here because I don't know. I don't watch Bakersfield Condors games. I mean, if Phil Kemp deserved to be up here, he might get a look. But, I mean, just to call up guys just because they're younger makes no sense.
No.
I can see it for Noah Phil. Matty Savoy's having a hell of a year, but again, you're going to call him up to play him in the fourth line? For what? The Oilers are fine, guys.
Yeah.
They're fine right now.
He'll be here eventually. Let him over-ripen, as
yeah,
they say.
100%. And Noah Phil's probably going to be up here. I'd say when the playoffs start, Noah Phil will be a guy that's here. Now, keep in mind, too, the Oilers are going to add at the deadline. So that's going to push guys even further down. Who knows what happens with Derek Ryan? Who knows what happened with Jeff Skinner? But Josh Brown being the seventh defenseman here, it's not ideal. Do you prefer a guy that's a little bit better? Sure, but like Gager said, he's here because he's a guy that can keep the peace and gives them a little toughness. And like tonight, I think he's dressing because of that, because of LA's physicality. And they got a couple guys on that fourth line like to throw the mitts, and no one on the Oilers outside of Darnell Nurse, Corey Perry, but you don't want those guys fighting, so that's why you have Josh Brown. So I get the frustration why he's up here and all that, but he's a seventh defenseman, guys. He's not going to be here. Highly unlikely he'll be a regular in this lineup going forward. He'll be in and out, and then when they eventually do add that top four guy, he'll be back in Baco. So, and then in the playoffs, they can call up all the guys, right, Gager, like the Black Aces. He'll probably be one of those guys.
He'll be one of those guys.
But
Kemp,
I don't know why Phil Kemp's coming up right now. I really don't.
31 games, 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points.
A +3. And good on him. He's been down there for what? This is his 5th season. He's played 1 game for the Oilers, limited minutes. He was a 7th round pick. Good on him. But again, if he's going to get called up, why are we calling him up? Why? For what? Give me some background on why Phil Kemp should be up here. I don't know.
Where I'm just looking. I didn't look for a while. Condors are 8th in the Pacific, so.
And I don't think it's a showcase for Josh Brown. You know what Josh Brown is if you're an NHL GM.
Exactly.
He's played enough games. I think and yes, he is signed for 3 years, but it's only $1 million. You can bury that in the minors. Not ideal. Yes, they made a mistake signing this player. Again, nothing personal against Josh Brown. But for a team contending for the Stanley Cup, they need an upgrade there for sure. And for now, it's fine because he's their 7th guy right now. On Detroit Red Wings, 7-game win streak. Toddy McClellan turning that team around.
Wow.
Gee.
He must, I don't know what happened there.
Good on him, though, man.
I've always liked Todd McClellan. I heard it was funny that last game at Rexall, I was talking to Cam Talbot just a little bit, just and stuff, and he had a good season that year, but he was talking about that at the start he wasn't really. I think that was his first year actually.
Yeah,
and he had Todd McClellan. He said had some very interesting conversations with him at the beginning. Are you good enough? Why did we get you here?
Yeah,
and just very, very ruthless and stuff, and. Sometimes you have to do that as a coach to a player. Obviously, he lit the fire a little bit, and Cam was awesome the rest of the year. But he demands a lot from his players.
Columbus on a 4-game heater like that. The wildcard chase there in the East is going to be awesome to watch. A lot of teams rolling. Montreal finding their groove. Ottawa Senators finding their groove. The Rangers are hanging around. The Islanders are hanging around. So it's going to be great to see, Gage. I can't wait to see that battle there. Where the West, it's looking like the good teams, the great teams are separating already.
But wouldn't it be fun with this? You see how close everyone is. Through 4 points separate 8th through or 13th.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
But imagine if there's 3 points for a win all of a sudden. You see teams just doing completely different things. Every coach turns into Campbell and starts pulling their goalie with 8 minutes left. Just it's going crazy to get that extra point. It can make a huge difference and stuff.
And all of a sudden, Boston's hanging on.
I think they're done, man. I am going to say it. I think Boston falls out of the playoff race here.
I think so too. They're only 2 points up on Ottawa, and like I said, 3 points up on the Pens, Canadiens, and Red Wings, and those teams are all coming.
They're surging.
Yeah. That's a good point. Portion of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Host your team or league fundraiser at the Canadian Brew House for a chance to win $2,500 with tons of options to choose from. The Canadian Brew House can help you raise funds for your crew. Details in store or online at CanadianBrewHouse.com. Up next, we'll be drinking our coconut water that Koob so kindly brought us as a gift. Rip City Step says the Koob knows where to find the deals. We're at 110 thumbs up. Well done, Nassies. Thank you. And we're going to enjoy our tasty beverage on the way back from the break. And we'll tee up the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. That goes from 3 to 6. This is EST Afternoons with Joaquin Gage and Hernan Salas. And here's our producer, Zach, with your sports update.
We have a West Coast clash between the Oilers and Kings with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30 only on EST. And there's two other games dotting the slate, seeing the Flames battle the Blackhawks and the Panthers play the Flyers. In the CFL, two former Elks are on the move, having Dylan Mitchell signed to the Bombers and McLeod Bethel-Thompson agreeing to terms with Montreal. And down south, head coach Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys have mutually parted ways after McCarthy spent the last 5 seasons in Dallas. And Wildcard action wraps up tonight when the Vikings kick off against the Rams. Elsewhere, there's 6 games in the NBA, including the Raptors facing the Warriors. This sports update is brought to you by Gimme Virtual Golf. Whether you're looking for a casual round or a serious game, Gimme Virtual Golf has membership and flex passes to fit your style, with premium members getting complimentary winter bag storage. And don't forget, Gimme Virtual Golf is giving away 2 free hours of golf every other week. Gimme Virtual Golf, where innovation meets the game. Find out more at GimmeVirtualGolf.ca. The final segment of EST Afternoons with Hernan and Gager's new coconut water comes up on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Make a fresh start in the new year with Sentinel Storage. With convenient locations near you, Sentinel Storage is here to help you make space for everything 2024 holds. Sentinel Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
6:45. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here. Coming up, it's Reed Wilkins with Jay Milne from 3 to 6, and at 6:30, Tom Gazzola will jump on with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show as the Oilers take on the LA Kings down at Rogers Place. 7:30 puck drop. It's going to be a late one. We'll be back with the postgame show. Tom Gazzola, Matt Cassian, and myself will break it all down. The Oilers are going 11-7, which means Derek Ryan joins Jeff Skinner in the press box, and Josh Brown will be the 7th defenseman. We'll see what happens in this one. Sounds like the LA Kings are also going 11-7, so it's maybe a matchup here. Josh Brown probably in because of the physicality that the LA Kings bring, and it's a big game. Oilers up, Curly up on them, 2 points for second in the Pacific Division. It has to be a win for the Edmonton Oilers to keep gaining on those Vegas Golden Knights and putting the LA Kings further down. The standings, our guy Koob got us some coconut waters. Mine was a little harder to get going here. I got a good sweat during the break.
Oh my gosh! If we have that recorded, it was quite interesting.
Zach, cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Let's try this.
Cheers.
And that's good.
It's definitely coconut.
It's smooth.
Yeah, that is smooth.
And it's not too sugary.
Man, we need some rum in there.
How are you going to get it through this little straw?
There's always a way, man.
There is always a way.
That is really, really tasty. Thank you, Koob. That was
You're
awesome. Now I got my hydration.
Do you?
For the
70
day.
calories.
How much?
7-0.
Oh, nice.
Hernan did about twice that trying to get that straw in there.
Oh, good thing you guys didn't see that because it was embarrassing. Hello to Phyllis. Hello to Matt Hyman. Hello to the WSTers that join us most days for a bit here, at least when the good old Huss wraps up there. And I love Huss, but I'm ready to see the Kansas City Chiefs lose a game. They'll be taking
what was that?
The Kansas City Chiefs lose a game. What's in this? No, just kidding.
Oh man.
Lars says, Gager, how would it taste with a little rumba? It'd be good.
I like to. I mean, coconut and drinks is good. I love coconut. Like I'm thinking of maybe making some coconut chicken tonight.
Oh, nice.
You know?
Yeah. I'm making a stir fried. I'm gonna run home real quick, cook some supper, probably bring it here, and then get ready for the post game show.
Nice.
Yeah, I need to. Like if I'm here too long, it's hard.
Why don't you just use the toaster oven?
Well, I gotta cook.
Yeah, you can cook in that.
Rice?
Sure.
No.
The office needs an air fryer.
Uncle Ben's into the microwave. You want rice? That's what Eric used to have all the time too. I see he's throwing his wild rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For breakfast and stuff. Yeah. He's right on there. No, I got my rice down to a perfection because I know people struggle with making rice.
Oh yeah. What's your go-to?
What do you mean in terms of what?
Do you just use a rice cooker?
No, I used an actual pot. We use jasmine rice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why? Why didn't you get a rice cooker?
I just never had one.
Really? Oh,
but for me, it's easy.
It's a game changer.
But for me, it's easy. Like I got it down to an art. It takes me nothing, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
but if you had a rice cooker, I guarantee you will go, Gager. You were so like everything else in life. You're so correct on this one. It's a button and it turns off and it keeps it warm. You play your cards right.
No, I've seen a few.
Santa might do something at the end of the year.
Is it as because the air fryer is a game changer?
Oh yeah.
You know what's funny? So I got my parents one. They never use it. They're so old school. My mom won't even use a dishwasher.
Really?
Yeah.
My dishwasher's broken.
It's like the old school mentality. Like it's weird. Like they won't use any of these new things.
Really?
The dishwasher's not new, but she's like, no, I don't need it.
I mean, I see like because when you on social media, some guy uses the air fryer for everything, and I use it to warm stuff up, or I'm not fully cooking meals in there. You know what's great is if you do have fries, like even to reheat fries, it's great for that. Pizza
reheat
too.
it.
Yeah. Get it crispy. Yeah, for sure.
So like, I'll be honest, I don't make chicken or salmon. Like you see a bunch of videos like that on there. No, like I make like finger foods in there, like your fries, your chicken wings, your fried whatever, your calamari.
Yeah.
And like you said, and to reheat stuff, it's really, really good. But I don't use it to like cook like protein stuff.
It's
like,
just a longer microwave.
Yeah. And it doesn't like, I don't know how they do it in the videos, but it like, because I tried some things and it doesn't come out like it looks in the video. I think the air fryer almost dries it out too much.
I don't have a high end one. It was like on sale at Canadian Tire, but it does the job.
Yeah. And see, Van Owen says, like, I think it's old school too, not to use a rice cooker and just use it in the pot. There's something about the flavor that changes. Do you know what I mean?
Stop it.
It's true though, Gager. There's certain things. Yes, yes, it is.
So it's water steaming and boiling compared to water boiling on a pot?
No.
It doesn't change anything.
My brother-in-law, he went nuts on his. Like he's got there's no English on his. It's all, and it's amazing, this thing. It's unreal.
Like I like the slow cookers. Like those are awesome to make like your meat and your potatoes, and you can just. They're safe, right?
What about a Instapot? You don't have the pressure cooker Instapot, eh?
No.
Those things were big a few years ago. They're great, too. There's a setting for rice. It's a rice cooker as well.
Cager, you literally know your way around the kitchen. My 9-year-old makes like 3 different types of rice: plain white rice, pilaf, egg fried rice. Ooh, I like the egg fried rice.
Also, I do like, but it's a little bit... It's takes a long time to make, but the risotto, like I make a bunch of different types of risotto.
Risotto's good. Yeah, risotto's. I've never made it, but I've had it. No.
I'll make it and bring it.
Maybe it'll be next on the list. Yeah.
Nice spinach risotto.
You know, I always think of risottos when you're watching Hell's Kitchen with
I know.
Ramsay. That's like a staple of the appetizer.
Yeah.
And they all get it wrong.
I know. Well, I mean, it takes a long time, and you're stirring constantly, adding. Mine's pretty basic, what I do, but it's usually quite good.
What do you think goes down tonight at Rogers Place, Cager?
I have no clue, man.
Yeah,
it's tough because the way this lines up, it doesn't look good for the Oilers. Just the old, and I don't know why this is, but coming home after a long road trip, the home team seems to come out flat.
Good point.
And maybe just having 2 flat first periods, that fixes this whole thing. The Kings coming off a game which they should have won, but Dustin Wolf was incredible in that game. They're hungry. And I think there's a little bit more anger from the LA Kings side towards the Edmonton Oilers than the Oilers have towards the LA Kings. Because let's face it, they've had their way with these guys for a long time, right? So, and I just remember Drew Doughty. He was posed the question, "Is this a rivalry?" I go, rivalry. You got to beat them once in a while for it to be a rivalry. These guys have kicked our butts for the past few years. So no, I don't even consider this a rivalry. And he said it. He goes, "I go home in the summer, and the only thing I'm thinking about is getting past the Edmonton Oilers. They know that this is their biggest hurdle." So, no, I expect a good game. It should be, but I think the LA Kings are going to get a lead here, and they're not going to look back.
Yeah, it's a good team, Gager.
It's a really
good team.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys. I just saw someone in the NASChat say too. He's been watching a lot of Kings games, and yeah, they're for real. They got the Fogle bump, man.
Now, dominating the team in the regular season doesn't mean much come playoffs. We saw the Oilers dominate Winnipeg in the Canadian division, and they got swept.
Vancouver dominated
the Oilers,
Edmonton, and took till playoffs for them to beat them finally, right?
So, and like you make a good point. I think this is a bigger game for LA than is the Oilers, because the Oilers, like, we beat these guys 3 straight times. Like, it's regular season as well. They probably now they want to win the game, obviously, but yeah, I think it's going to be another tough game. I mean, you're going to get a heavy dose of McDavid and Draisaitl for sure today, but those top 2 lines for LA, they can lean on you.
This isn't so. the superstars of the LA Kings, obviously Kopitar, Kempe. I think almost you put Byfield in there now. It's going to come down to, the unsung heroes, I think, in this game. This is where you need secondary contributions on the scoreboard from certain people. Can't just be the usual suspects tonight. And what I want to see tonight? I want to see them dominate Darcy Kemper. If that's what it's going to take to win. He doesn't scare. He doesn't. It doesn't scare me as a goaltender. I know he's capable of playing really good games. He made an unbelievable save. I believe it was on Hyman last game to kind of, that was a turning point, I think. But I want to see the Oilers kind of have their way with him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. Doug Dad says, last thing I need is another appliance in the house. If a pot works, a pot it is. And you're right, because with all these little gadgets now, the kitchen is filling up pretty quick. Rams, Vikings at 6. Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne coming up right now. They'll take you right up until the NFL game. And then at 6:30, it's the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. And we'll be back with the postgame show later tonight. For Joaquin Gage and Zach Kubusch, I'm Hernan Salas saying thank you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow to break down Oilers, Kings. Enjoy the game tonight. Enjoy your Monday. Get home safe. Ciao for now.